Hello there, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. Break the chains that you have formed. What do I mean by that? This can be a great theme for today. Thinking about the idea of being held by your own beliefs, but by your actions, the people you spend your time with, what you have faith in, what you don't have faith in. Right. And you recognize that by being bound by something, many things actually, it could really pin us down from really growing, to getting out of our own way, from stepping away from what's keeping us tied to these negative pillars of destruction. And the negative pillars of destruction even. Now, before I fast forward, the idea here is these pillars are the beliefs, the negative ones. I'm the ugliest one in the room. Not worth a boyfriend, not worth a girlfriend, not worth a family, not worth of having a good job, not worth to get a degree, not worth to be the leader of my community, not worth to be the president, not worth to be anything. Right, I am at the worthless point of my life. These are the negative pillars of destruction. And how do we bind ourselves to them? It is those chains, those ropes, those links that we have built attached to them, and then tying us literally around every part of ourselves, so that way we cannot move anymore. Where we're kind of like just stuck in the kind of like on a trap of some kind, like in a spider web. Think of it like that. And so when we're trapped in our own spider web, our own web of destruction, you could think of it like that, it is so daunting, so paralyzing, right? You're stuck with people that you don't want to live with. You're stuck with coworkers that you don't want to be with. You're stuck with a faith, a church. You're stuck with people who don't even believe in what they're saying anymore. You're starting to question the beliefs around you, but then the doubt comes in, the fear, the idea that, hey, is what I hold onto true, or is this a lie? Is this a lie that I've been holding onto for so long that now I am bound by my own lies, my own web of destruction, tied to these pillars of destruction that keep me pinned? Because now I'm stuck here. I'm literally hanging on the wall up here. I'm hanging literally by my own beliefs because I don't want to let go of those pillars of destruction because I believe that they are true. But we recognize that is what makes us so unhealthy, not happy, depressed, angry, so envious of people, so just full of anger towards other people that we just want to just say, oh, it's their fault, it's not my fault, I can just blame them, all these pillars of destruction for being there. But who tied them to you? It was your belief. It was your willingness to bind to them because they were keeping you up. And maybe you had to hold on to these negative beliefs for some time before you could grow. See, now that's an interesting conversation. How many of us had to believe into something, even if it was a negative thought, in order to grow? Is it possible? I think it is, to a point to where if you say, okay, can I get the first job A, but I could get job B because I know that I'm worth a little more, but for now I'll just settle because I know that I should be grateful, and I'll just take the blame for the people that I'm working with for now in the working place environment, or at this new college, this new place, this relationship, but at least I know I'm growing. If you have that kind of optimism, right? If you have that optimism to break that belief later. But I think when you put yourself early at the forefront at a negative belief at the start, you're already setting yourself up to connect to a pillar of destruction, and you're not able to break free from it as easily as you would if you just say, oh, I don't believe in that idea anymore. I believe that I'm worth more. I don't have to tie myself to this pillar of destruction ever again. I can now move free. But before you get there, when you recognize in the midst of being stuck on the wall, stuck by your own web of destruction to all these pillars that are keeping you tied, you see everybody moving around you. You see everybody having a good life. You see everybody that seems to have something so happy, so profound. You wish you had the boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, family. You wish you weren't in an abusive relationship. You wish you were not in a domestic violence situation. You wish you were not in any of these terrible situations with drugs, pornography, alcohol, methamphetamine, whatever, that you're not. You wish you were not in these, but you are in the situation, and you feel just so stuck. You've seen other people that seem to be happy, just enjoying themselves even in some of these negative things, and you're like, can't you all see that you're all stuck in your own web of destruction as well? Can't you all see that these same pillars, they're tied to you, but you feel that you're living life to the fullest? You're fooling yourselves. You're fooling yourselves when you think that you are living so well. And you're just sitting there thinking to yourself, man, do the people understand that they're trapped in some of these these beliefs and lies. And now they want to look at me and say, oh, look at that guy, look at that girl. They're in the same boat as us, huh? It's good to be in miserable company. It's good to be sad just like we are. It's good to be feeling miserable just because we know that you and I are not worth anything. We're just going to be miserable for the rest of our lives. Right. I don't mean to be so negative, so to the point, but in some way I think the truth has to stand out in this regard. Because how many of us feel those negative thoughts each day when we're on our own, in the truck, in the waiting room, in the elevator, when we have that moment of silence to think about, man, what am I doing with my life today? How am I living my life in this moment right now? Do I feel proud? Do I feel happy? Am I proud to share this with my kids in the future, with my wife, my husband, my family, my friends from out of state, country, etc.? Do I feel proud? And when you catch yourself in those kind of moments to yourself and you have those deep thoughts, but you see that you're tied to a pillar of destruction in those moments, you're like, man, you're in the elevator, for example. I can't believe I feel like I'm not worth it. I realize I'm stuck to this belief that I'm just trapped in this job, or that I'm trapped with this toxic boyfriend, girlfriend, that I cannot get out, that I cannot give anything good for my child because I don't want them to look at myself getting in a terrible situation with the boyfriend, girlfriend of a breakup, right? And you pile even more negative chains to those pillars of destruction. And that's what I'm trying to say. You can multiply more negative connections to those pillars of destruction, right? I don't want to believe I'm worth a healthy relationship. And then you add, I don't want to see my children in an argument with my partner. I don't want to see other people look at me as a failure. And you see, these chains just keep multiplying and multiplying and multiplying and just connecting to you to them. And these negative chains are just going to be so heavy at some point where you cannot move. You're paralyzed. You're paralyzed and you're stuck. And now you're to yourself thinking, oh, if only I'd known what it'd be like to walk on my own 2 feet again, away from these pillars of destruction, a way to get out of this dismal existence, this dismal place. If I could only get out of this dismal environment. I just feel so trapped right now, so full of toxic energy because people are just surrounding me with it. And I'm surrounded by all those beliefs. And it's horrible. And it's horrible to be stuck in that kind of situation. And that's real. And that is very real. As a counselor, I see that in many people. And the thing is, when you're trying to work with people, you cannot force the solution on any person, right? Classic example of just listening with your third ear, your heart, the third voice, the third eye, whatever metaphor you use, to look beyond the situation of the person you're talking with, because you see that there are some negative beliefs that keep us down, keep us pinned. And when we let them pile up on ourselves and thinking, oh, we don't deserve anything good in our life, we deserve the worst. Man, there's so much more to life, isn't there? There's so much more to life, isn't there, if there is something that sets me free from these pillars of destruction. And so how can I free myself? How can you free yourself? How can we get out of this toxic area and walk away and feel like we are worthwhile again? And you're starting to think. It's the thought. It's the curiosity. It's the courage to believe that you can take an action for yourself, that you can help another person, that you are able to take an action for yourself, believing you are worth so much more. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, and you should not let anyone tell you otherwise. You are strong and courageous, and you're worth so much more than people realize. And then for me to you, I feel, okay, if I can give some of these videos to you from a place of honesty, telling you that, hey, depression is real, but that you can break it when you believe that you're ready to move out, walk away from the pillars of destruction, snap. The chains are starting to break. The negative thoughts are starting to let themselves go because you are letting go of them. And all of a sudden, what they tied you to those pillars of destruction, those big beliefs, you're starting to walk away from them. You're starting to break free. You're even starting to break the pillars themselves. When you pull on the pillars and they start to break down, crash, and you're like, wow, I'm starting to break those old beliefs. I do have the strength to let go of negative habits, negative ideas. I do have the strength to find someone worthwhile. I do have the strength to get a good job, to live a healthy life. I don't have to live with toxic people. I don't have to live in a toxic environment. I don't have to feel like that I am a failure. Those are beautiful recollections, beautiful ideas that emerge from within you. The solutions that emerge from within you are the better ones. No therapist, no counselor can give you the perfect formula to get out of a situation. Ideally, it comes from you. I just have to be a guide. I just have to listen to you. But you come up with the solution. It's you that has the idea. Are you willing to follow through and break those chains? Are you willing to break free from what holds you and binds you in so many different ways? The solution comes from you and not from me. I'm just a voice. I'm just someone speaking from the other side of this camera to you. But if you listen in on this video and it helps you in some way, share. Share and subscribe. Share and like this video. Yes. If this is a motivational video, go ahead. Let this be motivational. Let this be a motivational video for mental health, for your self-care, all those good things. I know I'm thinking of all the tags that I put in my videos, but the thing is, this is where I'm aligning my channel to be. And to come from the religious perspective as well, where a Marian counselor, the idea of following Mary is the fact that you have a mother's love for the people around you. And you have the hope that people can turn their lives around. You cannot force someone to be healed right away if they're doing drugs or some negative habits, but you can hope for that conversion still. And as a good mother, you at least share the opportunity of communication, right? You don't have to fall into the negative habits, but you can at least offer to them, hey, call me when you want to. I'm here for you. I'll talk to you right now. And at least in this video, I can share with you now. You can share in the comments. You can share with others how you've overcome negative ideas and how you are able to break your pillars of destruction and how you are able to set yourself free with your positive beliefs. All right, everyone. I hope this video finds you well today. Be strong and courageous. Don't give up on yourself. Be courageous for you, not for me, not for anyone around you, for you. Get out of your toxic situations. Get out of those webs of destruction that keep you bind to the pillars of destruction themselves. Break those chains, break those ropes, break those links that are just piling and piling on each other. Once you set yourself free, embrace the new hope that you have and a new reality. You can now walk around and feel stronger, happier. You can now walk away from those pillars of destruction and see the other side of that highway, that tunnel, that cave, bridge, whatever, wherever those pillars are keeping you. And you can now see the light and move on, knowing that you have hope to live to the next day. All right, everyone. I hope this video finds you well today. Take care. Have a good one.